So let's see what we've done to date. We received a requisition from a hiring manager. We created the requisition on the Taleo Business Edition system, and we sent it out on the internet through Career Center so that anybody in the world who has that link or can search it can apply for the job. Now, the next thing we'd like to do is actually pretend we're a candidate or an applicant and actually apply for the job. So I want to take you through some of those steps, and then we'll come back and we'll see what happens to applicants to shortlist them so that they can go on to successive interviews, employment testing, background checks, etc., right through to hire and onboarding. So here's where you find your Career Center link. If you go to requisitions, and again, you could do all the requisitions in the company or just your requisitions, or current requisitions are the ones that are open right now. So we have pharmacy technician open. I'll click on the link, and that is the link that you would broadcast or promote to the community, either through print media, social media, or any other sort of advertising. And you can also search engine optimize it so that people can search for it. So I'm going to click on it, and it will take me to a thing called Career Center. Now, a couple things happen. This is the pharmacy technician job, so a little bit of information here, the location and so on. And whatever description we put or the posting we put would show up here. And notice that we've customized it with the logo. Now, if an applicant already had applied to Integrated Hospital Network and they have a login, they can use a login page to log in and see a full history of everything they've applied for. But if you're new, you would click Apply Now. Now, you need to put in your email address and choose a password, and you would click the next button. Now you're on step number 2, and to save time you can actually upload a resume, and in most cases Taleo will take information from that document and fill in these fields. So let's have a look. I'm going to click upload resume, and we're going to attach the resume. So give it some time and take a look. It took out information from the resume as much as it could, and it filled it in. So double check, make sure everything is correct. The province usually doesn't come across, so you have to choose one. Let's see, what's the source? Now you want to keep track of the sources. This is important for yield analysis and recruitment. So in this case, I'll put employee referral. And again, if there's another source, like let's say you came from Seneca, you would type that in just so we know where good candidates or quality of candidates are coming from. Now this was referred to by Sally McGillicuddy. And work authorization, yes, I am authorized to work in this country for any employer. So remember, we're acting as applicants right now, okay? Now, you can either save the draft for later use, which means you're not applying for this job yet, or you can click the next arrow, and it will take you through. So far, you've uploaded a resume. Now, you could upload additional documents. For example, if you have certificates or any sort of recognitions, additional, let's say you have a SmartServe certification, you can attach it. So let's do that. Browse, and I'll put in a description. And we'll save this. So you can attach as many of these as you like. So let's click the next arrow, and it's going to pick out information from your resume automatically. For example, on the resume we stated that we are a pharmacy technician and a trainee and a technician before. You can add additional work history that didn't come across from the resume by clicking Add Work History, typing in the position, the company name, the dates from and to, the reason for leaving, and a short description. And in fact, in my opinion, this is probably better than just having the system take things off your resume because you're writing it clean and you know the system wants to see it this way. This will be a basis for any sort of search. So you might actually take the time to just fill your resume in this way. So we're not going to add one just yet. You can add additional education. So for example, things that didn't come off the resume, you can add it, or things that you didn't have space to put in. So let's do this. We're going to say that we earned a language, or if it's not on the list, you can type in another skill. The field was Danish, and the institution name, let's just say Rosetta. And I don't know if you want to put a date that you completed it, but you always could. So let's say we did it in 2013, June 11th, right? Sometimes with languages, there is no date, so you can leave it blank. But any additional skills that don't come across automatically from your resume, don't leave it up to the human to look at it critically. Put it here because you know it will show up. So let's save it. And you take a few minutes to add all the different stuff that you've got. So I'm going to click the next arrow. And in this case, it's giving us some red flags. So we want to put in some required fields that are missing. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'll click the little arrow here. So I'm going to edit, and it's asking the dates from. So obviously those didn't come across. So here I was with DEF Pharmacy, and the dates, let's put March of a particular year to August of 2018, and we left because we resigned. Okay, so let's save it. Up, cannot be future dates. Oh, you're right. You are absolutely right. So let's say May. There we go. And I think we're good on that one. Let's try saving it again. And this one we have to fix as well. So edit. And the dates are good. Select. There we go. We needed a reason. Let's see, we're terminated for some town. Let's see, description. Did not get along with new manager. Save it, and let's move next. There we go. Now, in addition to this, if you had awards, for example, you had ribbons, you had anything at all that you think is generic to the job or yourself, you might want to add copies of those certificates. And that's always a good idea, because then the company will have them on record for future purposes, for skills inventory purposes. So let's click next. And we have to sign off on this. So type in your name and choose the date that you're signing off. So this is official, that you authorize the company to receive your information. And you can always review your application by clicking this arrow here. What I'm going to do is either save it because I'm not ready to apply yet, but be careful, somebody else might grab it. I'm going to submit. And there we go. So you have submitted it. You are an applicant now. You might be rejected. You might be pushed forward to a future step. But what will happen is you'll get a thank you email as well. And I believe the recruiter will get an email that somebody has applied for the job. So let's click continue, and there we go. You can always go back and view your application, or you can remove it. And technically, you could have applied for more than one job at the same company. And in cases where the company sees your skills and believes you're competent for another type of job that you didn't even think of, they will find your information and communicate with you. So I'm actually going to log out right now. So in the next video, we're actually going to look at you as a candidate along with hundreds of others, and we're going to go through the processes required in the selection process to narrow down the field so that we can actually properly scrutinize you through panel interviews or other background checks and so on.